Your team is more than one? Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, which one are you talking about, man, huh?
The If you go on my profile picture on Twitter, you might see which one I'm talking about.
Oh man. Hey man, you're an idiot, man.
No, it's the one. I was what was it? I was at work and I was just going through my photos on during break-in and I saw that in my folder. I was like, oh, I forgot. I almost forgot that it happened this past week.
Yeah, man, I forgot about it too. I tried to put it out of my mind.
Nah, you ain't going nowhere with that one. The gloat like an asshole or peg for podcast views. Yo, that had me
Bro,
dying.
I thought it was like legit like a joke, man. Like I did it as a joke. And people were legitimately mad. I had a friend DM me and she was like, "Yo, why are they so mad?" Yeah. Yeah. I guess so, man. Shit was
Playing with
crazy.
fire, man. Playing with fire. Why'd
Oh
he leave?
man. What the hell's going on?
Uh-oh. He was on his phone. That should be the most stable thing in his room right now.
Wait, he's on his phone?
Yeah, 'cause he doesn't have his. I think he have his PlayStation? I don't know, but I think he's still getting everything. So like, it's not like you can set it up really. There you go.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well, what happened? What's going on? Nah, say something crazy.
Oh
Nah, say
man.
something crazy. Say something crazy. Say like, I don't know, like your PS5 blew up or something.
No, I was watching a lot of Pierce. She has a podcast that she does every week, and they were talking about they were talking about the whole PS4 PS5 cross gen games, and obviously the conversation went to God of War Ragnarok. And obviously she can't talk about it, so she was just there, just like this serious look on her face the whole time while the rest of the podcast members were talking about it. And then about halfway through the podcast, she had to go. I'm guessing like for work or something, or like family because she's over in Australia. And the people and none of the Mike Bithell, who's one of the podcast hosts or whatever on her show, was like that was Jim Ryan knocking on the door to get her the fuck up out of there. It was so funny, man. Yeah, it's a great.
She
It's
should
a
have just put off a Cory Barlog and be like, never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah, for real. I mean, she didn't say anything for that whole segment, so it was funny. Okay. Uh, Macho, can you hear us on the?
Hold on. Let me
Uh,
refresh real quick.
I'm gonna send a tweet out and then we can get started. Nah, we're fine. No, it's funny because on the last podcast, so like after I put out the little advertisement for the podcast, we got two dislikes. And then one of the someone decided to undislike the podcast, so I was like, okay, I appreciate that. That's cool. It's like they changed their
I
mind.
cannot hear Walt. Yeah, can't hear you. I'm gonna leave it up so I can. So,
Is there like a mute function on your phone? Is there like a mute function? Oh, so mute microphone.
Hey, what's up?
Is that Mahmood?
What is? Yeah, that's my mood, man.
Mahmood,
What's up, bro?
the legend.
Happy morning, man. Happy morning, or afternoon, wherever what
Yeah,
time it is
I
for you,
don't.
man.
I wonder what time it is for him right now.
But man, thanks for dropping in, man. Appreciate it. We're trying to get situated soon once Walt
Yeah, yeah,
gets the microphone thing under control, and then we're good
Hey,
to go.
how about now? We in this.
All right, hold on, check.
yeah. Can you hear him? But no, cause okay, it's 5:49 p.m. Okay, yeah, cause I was like, what? It's funny because like whenever I turn in an article, it's usually like for me, it's usually like at 2 a.m. in the morning, and he's always there, man. So I'm like, I'm always curious what time it is for him. But thanks, we appreciate you stopping by, man. Cool to see you here.
Can you hear me, Macho?
Yeah, you're good to go, man. You're good to go.
All right,
Yeah,
cool,
found
cool,
the option.
cool.
Sweet.
Um, all right, man. Let's get started with the podcast then. Everybody good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
All right, cool, cool. Um, all right. Guys, welcome back to the 16th episode of the DualShock and Sense Podcast. I am your host, Soul. With me as always, I got Walt. How you doing, man?
What's good, y'all? It's been not a busy week, but it's been an interesting week. We started off. We kicked off. The weekend of E3 with the Summer Game Fest. Not too much, but finally, we get to talk about it like it actually exists. Elden Ring, y'all. We'll get into it, but I'm happy. I'm just happy, man. I'm feeling good. I'm having some breakfast. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yes, sir. We definitely gonna get into that, man. And then we also got Macho. What's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic. And first of all, I would just like to utterly apologize for my misgiving last week. I realized I left something out, and just in case you guys haven't heard, the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV has an expanded free trial where you could play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn in the award-winning Heavensward up to level 60 for free, with no restrictions on playtime.
Yes,
PS4,
sir.
PC, and PS5. So
Oh
definitely you can
man.
go and do that. But man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. It's been a crazy week because I officially had like a full week of the new job, and it's basically just trying to figure everything out. You know how the process goes, because every news station is different on how like they distribute news, how they write it, how, assignment editing, all that kind of stuff. So it's been really packed and busy, but it's also been fun and exciting at the same time. And in terms of games, I haven't really been going into too much, but I mean, a lot has been happening regardless. So I can't wait to dive into these topics.
Yo, I'm telling you, they should hire you for PR for FF14, man. They should get you on that, man.
Good,
Um,
I'm trying to.
yes,
Square hire me.
sir. Yes, sir. So wait, Macho, can we talk about really quickly, like what's up
What's up?
so you made that tweet that ruffled
Oh man.
some feathers,
Yeah.
and then
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how long it was after I made my tweet that also ruffled some feathers. So now we're
Right.
just waiting for Walt to tweet something out that's like semi controversial. That's not really controversial, but
Hey man, you mean a joke? like just have fun on Twitter? You can't do that. The Twitter police will get me, man. Twitter
I
police, they're crazy.
I don't even want to like pin that tweet to my profile because I don't want anyone else to see it, man. I'm done.
I was there too. I was kind of like, I should just do it just to piss people off, because now they're pissing me off. Like, I just as far as like how they were responding, I'm like, you guys are just clowns.
It's a whole circus.
It is the
That's the
whole
Oh
thing.
man.
circus. Yes, it is.
Y'all, I gotta. I can't just come up with it on the spot. I gotta like one day I'll wake up and I'll be like, man, I feel like pissing off Twitter, and I'll just go. You'll see. It will be. You won't see it coming, but
Hey
you will
man.
know.
Hey man,
The death threats will be there.
all I gotta say is this fame isn't worth it, man. You know,
It ain't worth
it ain't worth it, man.
It really isn't, man. It really isn't.
It's tough.
This ain't it.
It's tough being famous
I-
out here, man.
I didn't even really like wanted to come across as something like that. Really, I wanted to open up a conversation with my friends on Twitter, and then all of a sudden these people were like coming in like, "You're stupid." I'm just like, "You're not getting what I'm saying then," because like I have like tweets explaining below, and even like one of my friends was like, "Yeah, I know what you mean." So like, and then, so you came at me. You're like, you playing with fire, man. You shouldn't have done it. So as soon as the same thing happened to you, I was like, let me bring out this tea.
Oh
This
man, I was expecting some support, and I was left to fend for myself, man. Man,
you
you
had
hate
your
to
back,
see
man.
it.
I sent you a supportive gif. We were both
Man,
laughing together.
you
were
saved
laughing.
you saved a meme, man, of me.
Damn right I did.
Let's
I'm damn well tempted to put up my profile picture too, so you can
Oh,
always
man.
remember that tweet.
Yo.
Oh man,
That's the
you
thing,
hate
bro.
to see
Like
it.
y'all different levels of fame. Because Macho, yeah, he had some Twitter spark, but Soul got a meme made after him. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
dude.
whole
I just laid the twigs. You actually brought the fire.
Oh man,
yeah, yeah.
it's unfortunate,
Bro.
man. You hate to see it.
But
You hate to see
well,
it.
we need you. Now we need you to come in and
Yeah.
just walk through the fire, walk on those coals. Just do something, man. We gotta get our podcast. We gotta get some views.
See that controversy. Let me see. Because I go too hard. Because my Latino comes out, and usually we're very non-politically correct. But I gotta be careful. So I'll let you know. It'll come out someday.
And Mahmood says in the chat that he doesn't really mess with Twitter too much anymore, man. I'm like, that's what I should be doing, I feel like, but
Not mess with Twitter.
yeah, man, but like I don't know, it's to a point where like it's really bad, man. The first thing that I do when I wake up is like I'm immediately checking Twitter to see, you know, what's happening in the gaming world, you know. That's
Yeah.
always my first
Yeah.
instinct.
That,
I just
gotta
love it,
view.
man. I don't know. I
It's
love
the
that.
high, man. It's the high.
You like that conflict? Yeah.
Not even the
So did you question having a Twitter account after that happened?
no.
Because I kind of like I was like, man, I should just delete this shit.
Nah,
It wasn't even that bad.
Yo,
Nah.
not gonna lie. Like I don't know how much pressure you felt, Jay, but like now you can kind of not really
I
see how Jason Schreier feels every day.
or just like Alana Pierce, man,
Yeah.
like or
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
shit like that. No, because like I felt like I wanted to comment at like all of these so bad, but then I was like, you know what? Nah, I got nah. Like let me just not do that.
Nah.
Yeah, I can't do that. It honestly like besides besides the one person who told me to kill myself, like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't anything too bad. I do take issue with people saying that I was like bragging about having a PS5, but I was like, man, it was just a joke, man. Like,
I know,
come on,
man.
man.
That meme was hilarious, man.
Man, I'm gonna find that person, man.
That meme, they were so quick with it. I
So
was
quick.
dying, bro. I was on the road and I had to stop. I was like, that is fucking
That's crazy.
hilarious.
At least I could scratch that off the bucket list. That someone made a meme
Hey.
out of my face.
By the way, I don't
Um,
know. I don't want to assume, but I bet that person doesn't have a PS5. I don't know.
Probably not. So, that's another point. People were like, "Man, I hope your PS5 blows up or some shit like that." I was like, "Hey, yo, man, that's crazy." But okay, we spent long enough on this. Let's get into the games that we've been playing this week. I have a feeling it's gonna be a Ratchet and Clank and Final Fantasy centric little segment. So Macho, why don't you kick things off, man? I'm interested to see or hear what your thoughts on Intergrade. What's going on with it?
Sure. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that much into it because actually, when I did come home from a long commute last night, I about got like an hour or so into integrated intermission because I was just sitting down, just chilling, and I was like, "Yo, let me see how it looks in 60 FPS." And I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty." Then I went back to 30 just to kind of get more of like that graphical sense, and it looked amazing. The thing is, with Final Fantasy 7 Remake has such great motion blur, and it already plays well at 30. That like when you go from 60 to 30, it's a very minor difference. It's not like God of War, where you're playing at 30, 30 at 60, you immediately notice it. This one was a little harder for me to gauge it, but also because I think I was a little tired. But I played through a little bit of it, and it's featuring Yuffie, and she plays like an anime. It's awesome. It's super cool. Like she has one moment where she throws her ninja star and then she starts doing ninjutsu. So it's kind of like magic attacks that form around her, and then you can base it based on fire, lightning, wind, or blizzard. So obviously you'll choose an element that your opponent's weak to, and then you just start pulling off ninjutsu attacks, and then you could bring back your ninja star, start doing some combo and melee attacks. You could juggle them. Like I'm only like an hour into this thing. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. So it's a lot of fun, and having it at 60 is just making it even like more of a faster and kind of crazier experience than the PS4 version. But other than that, haven't really dove too much into it. The days before I left to my fiance's place, I was really playing Horizon Zero Dawn hardcore, and I got to like the last third of the story missions, so there's not much to go to in the main game, but I did start the Frozen Wilds, and I really like it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. You already notice that the face animations are like a much better.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a smaller hub world, or at least like in one area of the bigger world in Horizon Zero Dawn, but it feels so distinct, and the side missions themselves already feel a lot more fleshed out than in the main game. So I got about a couple hours into it, but I want to go back to it, but I was going to last night. Then my fiance was like, "But you might Final Fantasy and Ratchet and Clank." I was like, "That's a good point. I'll play those first."
To really quickly to that point of the Frozen Wilds, something that uh expansion did really well was side characters. Like I think I've told you guys before that like I didn't find like aside from Aloy, Sobek, and Silence, the rest of that cast of characters in that game is so uninteresting to me and uninspired. But in Frozen Wilds, that's definitely rectified. Like there's actually people in like especially the side quests, the side characters that you meet. Like these are actually people that I actually care about. Like some like not like Mass Effect care about, but like they're interesting characters within themselves. So just knowing that, like I hope that they can bring that level of like character writing to the Forbidden West because yeah, the main game I did not care about like any of those side characters. I don't know if you felt the same way with regards to the characters in the main game.
No, yeah, I noticed it immediately once I started getting to Silence, and then the story surrounding Elizabeth Sobek.
Yeah.
That like you mentioned it last week, that's when like the story kicks off, and I sort of forgot that. But then like once you get into that groove, you're like, oh my gosh, like okay, these are the reveals are happening. And then once I got to the Frozen Wilds, it's breaking off from that main narrative a little bit, still tying in to the grander part of it. But yeah, those side missions themselves, absolutely. Like I was immediately just attached to. I can't remember the names because it was like a week ago, but I think his name was Bergrind or something like that.
Yeah.
Or he was something like that, but he was like a little goofy. He was the one that you met like in the factory setting, and you're just basically just trying to dump all the water from the dam or something like that. But he was immediately like an interesting character, or just like a fun character to be around, and I was like, this feels like a much more polished change of pace from the side missions in the main game. So, but yeah, I agree. I hope they carry that into the into Horizon Forbidden West, so that these side characters can actually have an impact. I feel
Yeah.
like that's important.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And in regards to integrate, do you feel obviously you haven't gotten, too much into the meat of the new additions with the Yuffie DLC. But with regards to the enhancements that the PS5 brings and what you've played of the Yuffie DLC so far, does it feel like a worthwhile, like worthy expansion so far?
So far, yeah, yeah, absolutely. They added the Fort Condor minigame, which in the original game was itself a minigame, but there's like in a certain section that's a little further off in the main story, and it's faithfully recreated here, but as like a board game. So you just the way it is it's like tower defense where you send out your troops on the battlefield and they sort of just go and try to take out the other towers, and each one has their own advantages and disadvantages. So it's really just about strategizing where you want to place your troops and where they are going into it. But like it's so cool how they recreated that as just like a board game, and then the music that goes with it too is like it's so classic to like the Fort Condor battle theme and stuff like that. So it's overall right now I'm really feeling like this is like a nice upgrade from the PS4 version, and on top of that, the load times are just incredibly better.
Can I
Nice.
can I have a question in regards more towards Juffy. So you haven't
Yeah,
played you played the entirety of seven. I don't know how many times.
more than
How
enough, more than enough times.
how does Yuffie feel? How is her character change, if at all? Is she more fleshed out? Is she just as you remember her? What do you think about this Yuffie, this version of Yuffie?
Yeah, well, like the Yuffie I was introduced to was in Kingdom Hearts, where she was um, super eccentric, proudful, and just like a cute character, right? So
Hmm.
she's like a young ninja that's up and coming, and she banks on being the best that she can be, but also being a huge optimist. So coming from that, and then playing her in Final Fantasy VII, or seeing her in Final Fantasy VII now in remake, I don't know how they're doing it, but they are just perfectly recreating or reflecting their characters into the modern times, which I feel like is one of the hardest things about this remake is just accurately portraying these characters the way we saw them in our minds 20 years ago.
Mm.
You know, um, everybody has like their own way of how they look at Cloud or Aerith, Tifa, and Yuffie, but somehow they're just. It seems like they're super in tune with the fans and how they want to portray the characters now, that it's the best of both worlds, and it's I see that in the main cast and remake, and I'm seeing that with Yuffie now, which is like to me it feels like I'm coming back home, and it's weird because it's like it's a new home, but it feels like I'm like seeing old friends again. And yeah, so Yuffie herself is it's a lot of fun. She has some pretty good lines where, like some people just underestimate her because of her stature. She's a small like teenager or whatever case may be. And but she has no problem telling you she's gonna kick your ass. You know?
Love it.
Yeah, yeah. So she has no problem like putting herself on a mantle and being like, don't worry, I can handle this. So I'm excited to see more of like how they bring her kind of to ground, because I think this DLC is going to explore more of her maturity, as well as evoking her that personality we all know about her, as well as interacting with like the new characters that are in here.
Love to hear it.
Nice,
Yeah, man.
nice.
I'm not sure how long it is, but I'm excited to keep playing.
Dope. Yeah, I need that's definitely on my uh backlist that I need to get through at some point. Um, well, what about you, man? Have you been able to play anything?
Aside from playing adulting, because it's been a whole week of just moving insurances and leasings. I haven't been able to put into gaming like proper, like I told Macho earlier. The only thing I was able to play for a little bit was, I believe, before I actually got on the plane. I played a little bit of Blasphemous on the Switch. Um, I hadn't played it since it came out, so there's like a whole overhaul they did with updates and character models and like the actual map and how much territory they added to explore, and So I had a blast with that. It's still hard as hell. It's a Souls like 2D platformer. Um, Other than that, I purchased Ratchet and Clank, but I don't have a TV because it's still on its way. I get it on Monday, so I can't really play it. I have the box right to my to my right. I can't do anything. It hurts, but hey, I gotta wait 2 more days, man. I haven't been able to put any gaming in. Uh, just video after video of not spoiler failed videos, but more of what Ratchet and Clank is, intermission, and a lot of. I probably have seen the Elden Ring video like 10 times, but that's all I've seen. That's all I've done all week. I haven't really played. How about you, Soul? Have you put any gaming this week?
Yeah. So I gotta really quickly go through my weekly Mass Effect check-in. So
Ooh,
I beat Mass Effect 1 again on Insanity. Uh,
Jesus,
we got that done. I didn't get the platinum though, man. I think I'm still missing like 4 trophies.
shame.
Yeah. So at some
Which ones
point,
are those?
I forget, man. But I did most of like the ability based ones. Oh, okay, I know which ones. It's the real tedious ones. So like scanning all the planets for like all the Asari markings, like that kind of stuff. There's also one that's like complete like 70% of the entire game, which I think is rooted in doing all the like planet scanning stuff, which is just like I didn't do that like at all in my second playthrough. I kind of did that a lot on my first playthrough, but like there's sometimes where like you have to like, find like 13 of those Asari markings, and then there's like 10 of like these writings that you have to find on planets, and it's just like I don't want to do that. Maybe whenever I go back for a third playthrough I'll do it, but right now I'm okay. So
So that's for
I'm
Mass Effect 1?
Yeah, Mass Effect 1.
Okay.
Difficulty wise on Insanity, it's not too bad, honestly. But Mass Effect 2, that is like, I think I've already died more in Mass Effect 2 on Insanity than I did in my entire playthrough of Demon Souls. It's pretty
Oh, wow.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And I think it's because like I don't think I'm gonna have the same problem with Mass Effect 3. It's mainly just because the movement, man. There's a lot of aggressive enemies on just in the game in general. So like if someone comes at you, like starts charging at you, you're basically screwed because like you're just too slow. You don't have a combat roll, so you can't really get out of the way. So it's just like you just kind of like slowly kind of have to like get out of there. But like I don't know, man. It really highlights the weaknesses of that combat system. Um, to a point where like I'm almost like not enjoying it, the combat encounters, because I'm finding myself stuck in cover for so long and then having to wait for my powers to recharge, which I'm still at the beginning, so of course the recharge time is painfully slow as well. So like yeah, it's almost making me not enjoy playing this game, but like I'm slowly chipping away at it. The characters obviously is what's, keeping me going. Um, but yeah, it's definitely no joke. I've managed to get a couple trophies as well already. I think I have like maybe 3 or 4 left, so I'm definitely gonna be aiming for the platinum here. And then yeah, Mass Effect 3 afterwards. But yeah, I've been aside from that, I've been bouncing between the Insanity playthrough and then Ratchet and Clank, man. It's I'm really enjoying it so far. I haven't gotten too much time into it. I'm still on the Nefarious City level, which is like literally the level that comes after the opening, so I'm not too far in. But yeah, it's tried and true Ratchet and Clank. It feels better than ever. The characters are still great. Visually, it's probably the best looking game I've ever played. Straight up, it's
Wow.
really, yeah, it's pretty nuts. I was just messing with the photo mode last night, man, and just seeing the reflections on Ratchet's eyes specifically, the fur as well, man. it's just so crazy, like seeing like where he came from, like on the PS2, where like none of that stuff existed back then, and seeing him now, it's just so jarring, man. But like in a cool way. Seeing these characters brought to life in modern technology is so cool. And yeah, it does make me want to see Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper brought to life in a similar way. So yeah, I don't
You're,
know. I don't know if I really have anything else to really say. I don't know if you guys have any questions about the game or what. I don't know.
uh, has the DualSense features kicked in, and how
Yeah.
does it feel?
Okay. I was going to talk about that and it just slipped my mind. Yeah. It's really good. I I think this is probably because Demon Souls didn't do this, and Returnal, aside from the rain, it didn't really do this too much. But it really feels reminiscent of Astrobot, where like whenever you're walking on, whether it be grass or like metal or wood, like it you really feel the differences of the sort of platforms that Ratchet is running or walking on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that and you feel it every single time, dude. It's really cool. Like the little pitter patter on inside the controller. Yeah,
It's
it's really
exciting.
yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and then obviously I think they've talked about the triggers where you pull it down halfway and it's a single shot, like for the shotgun, for instance, and then you pull it down all the way, it's a double barrel shotgun. So it adds a little bit of strategy to gunplay, just you deciding when to bust out the double barrel shot or when to use the just a single shot. It adds a little bit of agency to like how you wanna play it, which is really really cool.
That's super awesome, man. I'm excited to play it today.
Same.
It's
Not
just
today, but hey.
it's just pure fun. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not like I wasn't having fun playing, like Mass Effect, but which obviously
it's
I
a different
did.
kind of fun.
Yeah, it's just like the pure definition of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Feel like a little kid. You
yeah,
you feel like you're in your parents' house. You're chilling on the floor. The couch is there, but no, you're a kid. You want to be on the floor.
you
You're
just got
having
a
fun.
game from Blockbuster. You just rent it out. You're
yeah,
Hell yeah.
excited.
yeah. And it's like
No, that's cool.
I guess like Astrobot maybe kind of like uh brought on like a similar feeling as well, but yeah, it's just that feeling of just pure fun, man, that like we don't get these kinds of games that often, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
especially with the
Oh man.
quality that is like Ratchet and Clank.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
But
whenever we do get something in this vein, it's like ukulele, which is like it's like the definition of like all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Whoa. I'm looking at your gameplay right now, bro.
yeah, this is
That's
the
quick.
yeah, this is the stuff that they were showing.
That is quick.
Also, this is this is
Damn.
I'm excited for
this
that,
is
man.
this is
It's
just
so
like
much fun.
a next gen thing in general that it really hit me with this game. But and Macho, you talked about the load times as well with Intergrade. But with this, like once you press start on the menu and then you click on your save data, it's just like snap of a finger, you're right back in the game. I kind of I like yeah, like several games have been doing this too, so this is kind of like a plus on next gen gaming as a whole. But yeah, it's just really hitting me with Ratchet, and it's just so cool, man.
Oh
Cause
man, that's why I was just elevated with Resident Evil 8. Like as soon as you hit the activity cards to go into mercenaries mode or back into the story, you're in there in seconds. And
Yep.
it was actually the same with Intergrade, where or the Yuffie DLC, I guess the game and itself in the DLC, where I go down to the activity card and say, hey, you're like 25% through this chapter. I was like, okay, cool. So I just pressed the card, went to the activity, I load up the game in 10 seconds or less. And I'm just like, I love that. Like to
yeah,
me, next gen stuff.
yeah, I love that all games are seemingly taking advantage of this, man. It's so cool. Because
Oh man.
even Mass Effect, man, it's like loading into that takes a little bit. And it's a noticeable difference in this game where it's just like snap of a finger, you're just right into it. It's really really cool.
Yeah, it's a welcome addition in Final Fantasy Remake too because I played the PS4 version just to kind of like wrap my head around like where we were at and where we're going, and the load times on the PS4 version is a little over a minute. So like
Yikes.
Yeah,
just yeah, so, which makes sense because like the character models are insanely detailed and so is the environments and the fast pace. So there's a lot to load. So it makes sense why the loading time would be quite a bit on PS4, but on PS5 you don't even have to you don't have to look at your phone. You're just in the game.
yeah.
True. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
hey, so I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm happy to hear this. Um, I'm really, it sucks that there's people that think that the PS5 doesn't have any games or any out like games that stand out.
okay,
Um,
we won't get into that. Man, that's
yeah.
okay. Maybe we will get into that. Because
Wait,
because
wait before we do, can I ask you real quick what mode you were playing on in Ratchet and Clank?
yeah, good question. So performance is what I've been doing, but that quality mode is also like really like calling my name because I do want to play it like at the best sort of like visual fidelity possible. But right now, because my first playthrough, I'm playing it on the second hardest difficulty, so I wanted that 60 FPS with it. So I think on a second playthrough, I'll just do strictly the 4K one.
Going for
No
platinum?
no ray tracing in them?
No, I'm not doing ray tracing. It's like
Oh man.
yeah, it's like I'm all right because
Okay.
it does sacrifice like some of the fidelity. So like I'm like I'm
Gotcha.
all right. I don't really need it.
Yeah, I was looking at Digital Foundry video and they made a good case of just like how immersive like ray tracing reflections can be. And
Yeah.
I can see that for Ratchet and Clank because there's a lot of services where there is light being reflected or characters or structures and that can like add to like the quality of the animation. But I feel like one of the best examples of that was Spider-Man, where like you're in New York, you want to see the buildings reflected in cities because it's New York, there's a whole bunch of reflective like material there. So I was kind of looking, I was like, maybe I'll go with ray tracing performance mode. But the thing is, that game is super pretty, and I do have a 4K TV. I want to take advantage of that.
Mm,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Love it.
Jesus Christ! Like I'm just doing this little like pan around him, and it's just like the fur, man. It's ridiculous.
The fur, man.
Yeah.
He's
Now you
never.
understand furries, huh?
Hey man, hey, hey, Macho, I'm not no J main, man. Did you see that one picture that someone posted like a box of like Kleenex and then like the lotion, and they were like this is J main when he's playing Rift Apart, man.
I'm pretty sure that dude said that he was gonna play with one hand.
Oh
I'm pretty sure he
man.
said
Yeah,
that.
man.
This
That dude was hyped up last episode. He was real excited for Rivet.
that's crazy, man.
Shout out to
And
J
then
May.
one last point about Rift Apart before we move on. Um,
Hmm.
the humor is I've
Oh, I did
actually
want to ask about that.
yeah. So like I kind of like I guess complained. I don't know what podcast it was, but in a past episode saying that I've kind of lamented the sort of like punchy satirical humor of the
Yeah.
like
Tongue in
OG,
cheek.
yeah, the OG Ratchet and Clank games. Like these games were like ironically funny, man. It was legit good stuff, and the 2016 game was like the hardcore like Ratchet and Clank fans despise that game. It's like one of their least favorite in the franchise, even though it's like arguably the best gameplay in the series. Like story wise and what it does to its characters is like it's why many fans don't like that game. This one so far, it's I don't know. It's probably more in line with that humor, but it's still a more enjoyable humor than the 2016 game. Like I've actually had a few moments in this where I have laughed. So
She is.
I think for me personally, I need to move on, or I just need to accept that it's never going to recapture that same humor. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this new, I guess, sort of like quote unquote like Marvel humor doesn't make it bad or anything like that. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of like where I'm at with that.
Oh, Jay,
Um,
and what was his name? Wayhake. He's giving some love to your piece, the Ratchet and Clank ranking piece. He
yeah,
says it was
yeah,
good.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, good job on that. I actually maybe go on eBay to look up Deadlocked because I didn't play that one.
Yeah, that's one of the more controversial ones, man, because
That's what I
it
was reading. Yeah.
yeah, because it's way more combat focused than the other ones. And obviously, like only Ratchet's name is in the title, right? It's every other game is called Ratchet and Clank, but that's the only one that's called Ratchet. It's probably one of the more edgier ones. I think that one's also rated T. I think I might be
Wow.
wrong on that, but I think that's the only Ratchet and Clank game that's rated T for teens. All the other ones are rated E. So and yeah, there's a reason for that. That one's like the more darker, like edgier one. But yeah, it's a really cool game. I have fond memories of that one specifically. But yeah, that was definitely a fun piece to read. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, let's get into some of these topics, man. Specifically, let's talk about Summer Games Fest. There's a lot of announcements. Overall, before we get into sort of like the meat and the potatoes of God, I hate that saying. I didn't want to say it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Before
I
we
can tell by the hesitation here, like the
yeah,
meat and
I didn't want to say it, man. It's just like so American, man. Yeah, before we get into like what was in the actual show, what did you just think about the show overall? Like in terms of like we've seen the Summer Games Fest last year, the thing that was more spread out. Um, we can also take into account the past shows that Keeley has run with the Gamescom, opening night live, and the VGAs. Where does this one sort of rank for you guys, and sort of like all the ones that he's done?
I'll kick this off because I'll be short. I didn't really get to watch it really. I was more just I had it like in the background as I was finishing up some last minute things at work and then like on the road back home. So I was able to catch a little bit of it. But overall, I feel like from just like hearing it and kind of just glancing at it every now and then, it felt like a really well paced show. I mean, it could have been just been me, like I was zoning out every now and again because of work and having to pay attention to drive. But overall, I feel like there's some pretty cool announcements that are in there, and it was like a nice beginner appetizer to the week that's E3, where we're just gonna get a barrage of announcements now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the one thing that people had the most like question about that were really wanting to see, we got it. So now people can stop asking
Yep. He's
for the
finally released
entirety of the
from gamer
weekend.
prison. He's finally out of
Yeah.
gamer prison. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, no, that
think
was actually really funny. Yeah, he's like, I'm free or something like that.
but I think you hit the nail on the head there. That it was the sort of appetizer. I think in that aspect, it was pretty cool. It
Yeah.
succeeded in being that
Entry.
that kickoff, right?
Yeah.
And Mahmood says too many celebrities, and yeah, I agree. Like,
Oh, was there? I didn't remember seeing that.
yeah, like Ryan Reynolds was there.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum for whatever
But that was
reason.
nice. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, his humor and his way of being, it wasn't as
Yeah.
intrusive as like having like the cast of Fast and the Furious
Oh
and have
yeah,
like
I
you know
remember
Oh wait,
that.
was he there to announce Jurassic World Evolution too?
Yeah, he
yeah
was. So like
Oh,
I
that's
guess
cool then. I like
yeah, I
that. That's
guess
yeah
cool.
I guess if it's like
makes sense
to announce like an actual game, then I guess yeah, that's fine. But like,
yeah
and at the same time, it's like, hey, he's gotta pay those some way, because
honestly
we
yeah
damn well know that the gaming industry is not gonna do it for him. So it's like
No,
he's
I
got
think
he
yeah, that's for him. Like you got a budget, use it, and I'm sure he used the entire budget on
yeah.
Goldblum
So
and
so like
Ryan
it
yeah
in one way I'm sympathetic because it's like it's almost like a necessary evil because he's got to pay for these things somehow. That's also why we were getting Amazon Prime Gaming or whatever, the Luna advertisements like every like
Mm-hmm.
20
Yeah.
minutes as well. So it's like, yeah, it
Yeah,
kind of sucks and it kind of messes with the pacing and it can be jarring at times, but I'm a little
gotta pay for
sympathetic
it.
for it. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, and Ryan Reynolds only announced a movie. Like literally, he just promoted a movie, which was Free Guy, which is a video game movie. It makes sense because it's a video game show, but
I
you know,
guess.
it is kind of up too on the nose. I uh, it was cool in that sense that it's the entry, the kickoff, the appetizer to the whole like actual like. Nah, I'm not gonna say the saying. You already said it. Like the core, lo arroz con habichuela of the show. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Yeah.
I,
It's
I
something like how you said, but I got you.
Yeah,
more
pretty
or
much the
less, more
same
or
thing,
less.
but okay.
Less American.
Right.
Um, what I do want to say is I'm. It actually got me interested in a few indies. There's a couple indies
Oh
uh,
yeah, you're right.
that really look. To name a few, there was one Sable. I liked how Solar Ash is looking.
Man,
That one was already announced.
I have seen Sable. It feels like that game's been in development for a really long time, but every time I see
Yeah.
that game, it man, it's one of those games similar to Hades, I guess, that like
Hmm.
I would buy an Xbox just to play that game, man. It looks incredible.
Oh, dude, it looks beautiful. There's a lot of games that are really going for that Breath of the Wild, open world kind of approach, and Sable does to look like that.
And Tunic
And
as well. Shout out to Tunic. That's
oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I did see that. That
that game
looks
looks
cool too.
yeah, it looks incredible.
And one with the little fox,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
Very Zelda-esque. Like OG Zelda-esque.
oh, for sure. We got a couple of. I like out of these two like collabs. I like one of them. I don't play Smite as much. I do play it here and there occasionally with some friends. But I really like the collab they're doing with Stranger Things, which they announced on Twitter, but they showed more like actual gameplay on the show, and it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, they're
Um,
knocking it out of the park with that. I think their last collaboration was Avatar, which looked
Avatar:
really
Last
cool
Bender,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're kicking butt. Uh, Very bizarre way because I'm mentioning the ones that stood out and things that kind of like were kind of odd. It was weird how they announced the Death Stranding director's cut. It was a very bizarre trailer to do. Um, it, to be
Yeah.
honest, I kind of saw like the homage they paid to like maybe Metal Gear, like how the box fell, and like that's the thing. Like I went to in my mind. Um, Other than that, Axiom Verge 2 that was announced a long time ago, but it's looking beautiful. I love how that game is looking. Monster Hunter Story 2, I'm excited for. I love that spinoff specifically. Um, Boy, and so he tweeted about this, bro. Tales of Arise is looking
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's looking nice.
absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the design of each party member actually, it, there's something about it that makes it look not a normal approach that they've done in the past. I don't know. It's
It's that
not
new
as
engine, man. It's that new engine.
yeah, right. It's kind of not cliche, I guess. Like there's one character that stood out specifically, which was a knight woman with a big shield. Like she looks so different from like any other like Tales character I've seen before. It looks really interesting. The combos,
Yeah, she
everything looks
stood out to me
beautiful,
too.
right? Um, and obviously, uh,
We'll
the
we'll get
only
to it. We'll get to it. We'll
yeah,
get to it.
yeah, yeah. We'll get to that one,
Yeah,
but
we'll get to
yeah,
that one. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like I feel like um obviously it wasn't as, long as the Game Awards can be because
absolutely.
it feels like those things could go on for like 3 hours.
And they
Um
drag. This one
yeah,
didn't feel like it dragged.
for sure, definitely. Like it was like an hour and a half maybe, and
Give or take.
yeah, I felt like it was somewhat respectful of my time. Like obviously not all of the announcements was like for me, but like I think my
Yeah.
biggest thing with these shows is that if I can find at least 4 to 5 things that interest me, then it's like I'm satisfied. That's really all that I need, and I had that with this show. So, um, I'm not saying it was the best thing in the world, but I was like,
No,
yeah,
by no means.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
it was cool. I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, like Salt and Sacrifice looked pretty cool.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful. Yeah. Hard as hell. It looks hard.
I
yeah,
say they had like a lot of really nice announcements that are
yeah,
in
yeah,
Yeah.
there, and I think it helps that Jeff Keighley's like really cool with Kojima, just so that it could have a little bit more impact. Because I do agree with Walt that the Death Stranding announcement was a little odd, and
Yeah, it was
it went
bizarre.
on a little too long. It was kind of
Uh,
weird.
yeah.
Um, but regardless, I mean, I just finished playing Death Stranding at like beginning of this year, and I'm not super keen on going back
Yeah,
to it.
let's talk about that because I feel
But
the exact same way.
let's go.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna add to really make it other than like faster load times, 60 FPS. But this new
Like,
More,
area, I don't know.
more Jeff Keighley.
like,
He's gonna be.
I would be. I would change my tune on that if it's like if I could just access the extended stuff. Like if it's like an expansion and I could just access that without having to go through the entire game again, then sure, I would be down for that. But if I have to play the entire game again to access the new stuff, like sort of like a Persona 5 Royal where like it seems like the meaty additions are towards the end of the game, then like I don't think, but with like Persona, I'm more than happy to do that again because obviously I love that
I
game.
mean,
But with
obviously.
but with Death Stranding, I don't want to play that game ever again. I'm good.
Uh,
That one playthrough was enough for me. I got what I needed from that
Yeah,
experience, and I don't
yeah,
want to do it again.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm kind of the same boat. You know, I really like the game, but yeah, just same thing with me. I rather just kind of access like the new stuff right then and there,
Yeah.
so that I can
You,
play it and then see what's going on.
Yeah,
it's the kind of game where like when you play a game and you're having a blast, but then you get to that one level that's like, if I want to replay it, I have to go through this. Death Stranding feels like a better half of like the first half. It's like, oh no, because it's so much. Once you get to a point in Death Stranding where you have so many bridges and you have all these like additional like assistance things, where like you have your bike, you have your means of transportation, you have so many upgrades. Going back to the beginning, like bare bones, you're just walking with like two crates on your back. No, man, no, I'm good. No, I'm good, bro.
yeah.
I ain't doing that again.
Did you guys see there was this meme of Kojima after the show that was basically like it was just like a picture of him and the caption was like um shows up to Summer Games Fest, uh tells us that he's done with predicting things that happen 5 years in the future because it's been happening too quickly. Like it happens in like 6 months now instead of 5 years. Talks about 9/11 twice and then leaves. Like, which was exactly what happened. Or it was like after he said that, and then it was like shows us weird trailer, talks about 9/11 twice, and then leaves. It was so
And
funny,
basically just
man.
telling us
Listen,
to
man,
hide in a box if that ever happens again.
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
that's a man of many mysteries.
Yeah. Okay, man. Let's get into it, man. I think the big
Oh,
thing that happened. Well, okay,
Yes,
undeniably the big
sir.
thing that happened in the show
objectively,
was it
Dark
happened.
Souls 3 2.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what we've been waiting for, man.
Dark, Darkborn, Sekiro, Souls, Blood.
But
It's an bro. It's an amalgamation. That thing. Okay, so as excited as I am, and as beautiful as that trailer was, I have no idea what's going on.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
man,
have
it's Miyazaki. You expect, man.
yeah, for sure. I don't expect to know what's going on until I play it. But yeah, man,
honestly.
it looks really good, man. I think the most impressive thing to me was the environments, man. The environments look definitely like it's back to that sort of their roots of dark fantasy, which I'm a big fan of. There was one specific gothic area that reminded me so much of the Boreal Valley from DS3 that I really liked. But yeah, man, overall, I really enjoyed the trailer. I only saw it one time. That was enough for me. But yeah, yeah, there was almost like more fantastical like environments. Like there were some areas that had like float, like almost looked like floating like rocks or something like that. Um, I don't know.
It is open
They're
world, right?
what
He
happened?
mentioned how he mentioned how it's gonna be an open
What
world,
did you say?
right?
Oh, you're far away from your phone. It seems like. Well,
Sorry, I'm still breaking this app. And Miyazaki had mentioned how this game will be open world, correct?
Uh, see,
I think so. I think it's like a seamless like open world where
yeah.
it's
So
like
like,
it's like in hubs probably.
I feel like people are getting like confused by this and thinking that it's gonna be like Zelda, but like I think like what's being said is that like yeah, by far this is sort of like the biggest game that they've ever done, and it's going to be more interconnected than ever, and it is like wide open
Yeah.
spaces that you can travel on horseback. But yeah, I don't think people should be going into this expecting it's going to be like Breath of the Wild Souls, because I've definitely been
No,
seeing that
no,
floating around.
no. And when he first mentioned that it's gonna be an open world and the approach and how you would go to these different kingdoms and you would get different powers and whatever, um, I always envisioned it how Dark Souls has always been, only that without the restrictions. So imagine Dark Souls 3, but you can go immediately towards the dancer without like having to open anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm imagining. Um, and you mentioned the environment. Um, there's a big like tree, like a huge like translucent tree that reminds me a lot of. For better, this is immediately my head went to this. You know in Attack on Titan, the coordinate, how it's like a massive like string of like
Yeah.
paths on,
That
and
that
it
and it
reminded me of
reminded
that.
me of the tree from Berserk as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see Berserk in this, and it'd be amazing if we see like a Muta, like a respect or like little tribute in the game, which would be really cool.
Yeah. Really quickly, I wanted to shout out this scene in Ratchet and Clank right here. This moment is a really awesome use of the DualSense. Like, obviously you can't hear the music, but you know, just imagine like club music, and like you can feel the actual like beat of the music that's being played within the controller. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Love
Um.
it.
Uh.
Love to hear that. Damn.
So, Matcha, what did you think about the trailer? Did it do anything for you?
Yeah. I was looking to see where I could pre-order it. I was I was honestly looking on the PlayStation Store to see if it was available or on PC, but that might be coming at a later time, possibly.
I
Maybe at
know.
the Bandai Namco show.
I checked GameStop and they're already doing pre-orders.
Yeah, I'm not doing GameStop anymore.
I'm waiting for a
uh,
collector's to be announced or
oh
something.
yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, but no, this looks like an awesome combination of everything they've learned with Bloodborne, Sekiro, and the Dark Souls games. Um, and I'm excited for that, especially like the style, the way it looks. I'm just excited for those boss fights, man, because that's like always a highlight when it comes to
Sir.
Miyazaki games. So when it comes to like those like, and we've seen like a little bit in the trailers too, like how kind of grand they'll be and fantastical, and I'm so down for that because they are masters of like twisted fantasy. So I think it'd be really cool just to go exploring and kind of have that Dark Souls like essence, but also the quickness of Bloodborne, or maybe the boss battles of Bloodborne and the quickness of Sekiro, or at least a little bit more toned down, possibly.
Yeah,
The one
it
question I
reminds me of
have
like
for
a
you guys,
combination.
yeah, the one question I have for you guys, because I was actually looking on the stores and I was wondering, for people that are looking at Elden Ring have never played a Souls game or played a Miyazaki game, what would be the kickoff game for you guys? Three? Would it be going
Bloodborne.
back into Bloodborne or playing Bloodborne? Playing Bloodborne?
Yeah, it's
That's the
Bloodborne. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I think it's probably the most like I feel like Dark Souls in general is like I guess I say Bloodborne because of its aggressiveness, and it really sort of incentivizes you playing faster than Dark Souls. Like Demon Souls and Dark Souls are definitely like slower. I guess Dark Souls kind of speeds it up a little bit compared to the other ones. But yeah, just purely for the speed of Bloodborne, um, and the ability to be able to get health back when you lose it, when you keep up that aggression, I think makes it a little bit more approachable than the other ones. Um, I don't know. Maybe Walt feels differently about that.
I was when it comes to someone that's never played a Souls game, a FromSoft game in general, I always gravitate towards Dark Souls 3 because here's the thing. If you're quote unquote a gamer, if you're someone that is not afraid of a challenge, or if you're willing to have patience, I would definitely recommend Bloodborne. But if you're a slower learner, if you want to take your time and still get that like extra mobility in a way and that extra aggressiveness, because Dark Souls by no means more aggressive than Bloodborne, but Dark Souls 3 I do think is a nice mixture of the old Dark Souls and a little bit of Bloodborne's mobility. Not
Yeah.
that you can, dash and weave and whatever, but the controls are the best they've ever been in a Dark Souls, I think. You have so much like horizontally, like there's everywhere. You can roll anywhere. That's a lot of things that the previous Dark Souls games didn't have. You could only roll forward, backward, left, right. This one you can go toward diagonally as well. Um, Plus, it's I think one of the better looking games. Bloodborne by no means a bad looking game, but by a lot of gamers' standards, they would prefer Dark Souls 3 for some reason.
That's
I say this because
that's
I've met people that argue that point of like how Dark Souls 3 is the better looking game because of its fantasy setting. I don't know.
that's another thing I wanted to kind of touch on. Was I saw a lot of sort of conversation about the way that Elden Ring looked graphically. I don't know if you guys saw this as well.
I did, yeah.
But people saying that it looks ugly, or that it doesn't look next gen, or whatever the case may be. Just being unsatisfied with the look of the game. I don't know if you guys felt had a similar reaction. What was your kind of thought about this?
I mean, it's a game that's come on 22, beginning of it, so I didn't really think anything of the visuals. I know they're gonna get better, so I wasn't really gonna
Yeah,
complain about it.
yeah. Honestly, I'm knowing the reality of how trailers work, and many times that we've had something and we get something completely different in terms of not maybe a whole 180, but we do get enhancements and whatnot. I'm not worried at all. I mean, Macho and I agree that we're like crazy to pre-order it already, but waiting, you know,
Yeah,
it looks
I
great.
don't get it. Like people complain when a game doesn't look good in the initial reveal, but then
Yeah,
when people overpromise and you get something that's not as good as what you saw initially, they
prove
complain
yourself.
even more.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like you damn if you do, damn if you don't, man. Like they're gonna give you what the game's gonna look like now because they're giving you a low bar so that when you actually get the game, you're gonna be more impressed.
yeah. And I don't
You know?
expect that to be anywhere near the final product. What we just saw, that's like, and I'm assuming, obviously, in a way, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but in a way, they maybe in a way rushed it. It doesn't look rushed, but maybe in their mind they rushed because there was so much anticipation for Elden Ring and how people were, going crazy with, the game doesn't exist. I mean, I know there was some pride in there, and the company was like, no, it does exist. Look at it. Um, Other than that, honestly, I'm not worried. I'm honestly, if I could play it now, give me a demo, give me a beta and alpha. I don't care. Like I just want to get my hands on it. I want to see how it. I want to see how big it is. I want to see how it looks. The monsters look the craziest I've ever seen them. Crazier than Bloodborne, if I'm being honest. There was one that had no face. It had like arms on its arms. It looked like freaking All for One from My Hero. Like what is happening? There's so much going on. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I guess my sort of take on it is that, like, I don't play from software games for, like, sort of like to be wowed, like, graphically, right? Like, I'm not coming into a From game expecting Last of Us quality, sort of like, fidelity.
Visuals.
Um,
Hmm.
but I will say, those, like, while I don't necessarily need that in a Dark Souls game, I do need the art direction and style to be absolutely 10 out of 10. And that is always the case with From Software games, and it's very much intact here. Like, the art style and the direction and what they're doing, aesthetically, is still like top of the industry in that regard. So like again, I
Agreed.
don't like with these games. That's never like how it looks graphically has never really been like my sort of like my focus or what I need from these games because the art style makes up for that in like more than enough. Um,
Yeah, one hundred
Yeah,
percent,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
for sure.
Um,
That's why I was looking at Dark Souls 3 because I remember dropping it on PS4 just because the frame rate was just not great, and but I'm looking at to pick it up on PC now just to kind of get like whet my appetite for Elden Ring that's gonna come out hopefully by beginning of next year, and
Yeah,
yeah, I never actually completed Dark Souls 3, so I'm kind of interested to go
bro, go
back to
for
it
it.
now, especially since Soul was playing it, you know, like
yeah,
a month or two ago and saying how much he
Hmm.
loved it.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Um,
an amazing game.
that does bring up another interesting point I wanted to talk about. Um, I guess a two-part question. Were you guys surprised at how soon the release date, like how soon it is? And number two, do you think it's going to hit that release date of January 21st, 2022?
For me, that's a double whammy of a no. First, oh, yes and no. Be corrected. I was a little bit surprised because not so much of FromSoft, Miyazaki, or anything, but more of the headcanon that I created for myself and with the industry, and how since we only got a cinematic, what was it, last year or 2 years ago?
2 years
Um,
ago,
2 years ago.
732 days before the Games
Jesus
Fest.
Christ.
Are you following Mr.
um,
Badbit's counter?
yeah,
No, but
man.
I was following a different one.
It it surprised me because we had nothing. You know what I mean? We only had that cinematic, and although it was 2 years, 732 days of waiting, um, I kind of expected the release window whenever it was going to be announced to be at least like 6 months into the next year or a bit further for some reason. And not because that was going to be the definitive date, but as a placeholder. And then they would release it before. I don't that was my headcanon. I was in a weird place with it. Now in terms of hell, the the release, I mean, my hopes are it gets delayed if it needs to be delayed. Honestly, if it comes out that day or not, as long as we get how you mentioned, like a FromSoft standard, that 10 out of 10 experience, um, I'm willing to wait if they delay it. It's hard for me to see it coming out on January, but it can most definitely come out if we keep seeing more gameplay and they keep updating us on the development and whatever, if they even do it. Um, but yeah, that's where my head is right now, fresh out of the Summerfest. What about
What
you,
about
Macho?
you? Yeah.
I think I want it to come out in January because I want it to kick off 2022 with a bang, and I feel
Yeah.
like having Elden Ring be that game is just gonna be so cool.
Jesus,
I
what a
really want that to
year.
happen.
What a year that's shaping up to be too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mm,
saying. Like making Elden Ring like the premier game to start out with at the end of January is gonna be really cool. So I want to hit that date so badly. Whether it will or not, Uh, I don't know. I think it really depends on how far they get or how far they are in now because we're in June, so that means that they have to go gold by like what, December, November?
Yeah.
That's not a whole lot of time um,
yeah,
to work on, what's claimed as their biggest game yet, right? So we'll see how it
most
goes.
ambitious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to judge, but just with like this new trailer. But I think if we get like a nice gameplay showcase at the Bandai Namco show this coming week, I think we'll have a bigger or
True.
better picture of like whether it can hit that January date or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely surprised, I guess. First at the reveal of the release date and I guess like how early it was as well because I feel like sort of the norm with From games is that they kind of release in that March sort of May window. So I was definitely expecting this one to fall in line with that as well. Um, but hey, I would welcome a January release, man. Like Macho said, that's a hell of a way to start off a year. Um, Whether I think it's gonna hit that release date, I don't know, man. Like we know COVID has obviously had an effect on all these titles, and I even wonder if because of COVID, maybe the original plan was to release this game in 2021, but then obviously COVID happened and they had to push it back. Um, I don't know, man. It at the same time, like they seemed pretty confident to throw out that release date, right? So like it's not like with God of War where they didn't give us a release date to begin with, so like everyone knew that that was going to be delayed. Um, but with this one, they were like pretty confident in like here. So like I don't know, man. I can honestly see it either way. Um, I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I hope it does come out in January, man. That would be awesome. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I'll
man.
be so down for. I'm ready for like another game like that.
Same.
And then I think Pokemon comes out like that same or like a week later, which is pretty crazy.
The
Yo,
remake.
true. The Legends. No, the Legends Arceus thing. Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
the one
what
the one that was running at like 10 frames per second.
Yeah, it probably still is at launch.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Being
I
real.
completely forgot about that game. Yeah, it is coming next year.
We're
Yeah.
just being real, man. I don't know. That game would look mad spooky. So hopefully that Nintendo presentation showed off at least the game running at 30 frames.
Hopefully, Nintendo Direct we get something. Because honestly, the idea, love it. But it did look kind of janky. But hey,
Yeah. No, it did look really cool. That
Oh,
trailer
yeah.
definitely won something
you
for
can,
me.
you can
But
finally catch Pokemon by actually throwing a Pokeball. Come on, man. How can you not love it?
yeah, no. It's finally like the dream Pokemon game everyone like imagined, and now it's like it's cool, it's here, but man, it needs some
Man,
work.
man.
Yeah, they should they should have just done a Metroid Prime 4 for that one.
Oh man, you
Probably-
said
Just a JPEG, just a JPEG.
Just an Elder
It's
Scrolls.
alright.
An Elder Scrolls. There you go.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, they could have done the exact same thing. Nice air shot of some distant lands in the Pokemon world, and then next thing you know, you see a Lugia just flying out of nowhere.
hey,
People get
man.
hyped.
Hey man,
Yeah.
that trailer didn't give us nothing, but I'll admit I was a little bit hyped for that Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey.
You say full
They
scroll
know.
da and you just whisper
Bro.
it to yourself
Nah.
like you saw Elder
I
Scrolls
didn't.
6.
Yeah, man, I was in my Dragonborn pajamas too, man.
Right
Um,
next to your cutout DMD character.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Um, so let's talk about E3, man. So obviously we in the thick of it right now. Ubisoft is today. Is anyone else having a conference today, or is it just Ubisoft?
They just released their schedule. I know Ubisoft's today. Who else did I see? I'm
Guerrilla
blanking
Collective?
right now. Yeah, Guerrilla Collective. Yep. That was the other one that Gene mentioned.
Wholesome Direct.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll look up right
Gearbox.
now. I got the app right
Oh,
now.
Gearbox
Is
is.
Gearbox today? Is Gearbox today?
Yuck.
Oh,
Man,
damn.
that Tiny Tina Wonderlands thing did nothing for me, man. Nothing.
It did nothing
Did
for
you play?
me.
Did you play Borderlands
No,
2?
I've never played a Borderlands game.
But
That's-
that one's for 3,
okay.
right? That one's for Borderlands 3, right? The Wonderland thing.
No,
No.
I think it's its own separate thing. Like, it's
Yeah,
like a
it's-
separate
Not gonna
We'll see.
lie, as someone that got into D&D last year, I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna try it. It sounds cool. But hey, I can't guarantee it'll be cool. We'll see when I
Man,
get there.
that trailer was playing, and I was just like, "Turn it off, man! Turn it off!"
Pause. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If it's not Tales from the Borderlands, I don't care.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, Tiny Tina is a cool character though. She's like fun, but it's like
Yeah, that's
at
what
the
I've
same
heard.
time, it's like
It is. She's.
it,
It's a very hit or miss game. It's not for everyone. Literally, it really ain't. Um, I like Tiny Tina. I like the Borderlands universe. I haven't played 3. I played
Ooh.
2 to an extent. But hey,
Did I just?
um,
God damn it!
I mean, the
what you do?
coolest thing they have in Borderlands 2 is the
Handsome Jack.
there's not yeah, sure.
He's a great villain. He's a
No,
great villain.
he is. But I mean, more of like the Easter eggs that they have in there.
Oh, true, true, true.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's a TMNT reference in there, and that was like one of the coolest things I saw.
Mm. Yeah.
But
So today is
but yeah.
Devolver as well, right? Today's
Ooh.
Devolver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
They were
Purchase.
they were poking fun at. I think their whole theme for the show is like subscription models. Like they were kind of like making fun of that. So like I'm excited to see how they're gonna do that.
Bro, I gotta
Ha-
catch up with the lore. They got some lore in those
yeah, man.
conferences.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see what's going on. Today's my dad's birthday, so I'm not gonna really be home. And on top of that, I gotta go visit my grandmother. So I'm gonna be out for like the better part of like when these conferences are happening. But hopefully, I can catch something and maybe do something for Lords of Gaming because I want to. But I talked to Wall about this before. It was like I feel like I just need today just to recharge after the crazy week
Yeah.
because tomorrow is gonna be nuts, dude. If we're talking about E3, tomorrow is gonna be insane.
Yep. And I gotta work, man. So
Oh,
I'm
for
so
real?
yep.
Damn, dude.
Yep. I gotta work today too,
Damn.
but hey, man. Um.
And tomorrow's like the big one because we got Xbox, we have Square Enix, and
Damn,
then
dude.
who else is there?
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it Bethesda tomorrow?
You know what,
Yeah.
Jay? I don't like the sarcasm. I don't like this sarcasm.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This is genuine. This is genuine disappointment. Oh man, I'm gonna miss the Xbox
Oh,
show.
come on.
Oh man. Oh man.
You ain't slick, homie. I'm gonna press dislike on your tweet.
Hey Alejandro, what's going on, man? Nice to see you in here. Um, oh man, my day is ruined, man.
I mean,
Uh,
what conference are you looking forward to actually now? Since because today is Ubisoft.
no,
And
honestly, yeah, I was looking forward to seeing what Bethesda was gonna do and Xbox. I'm still, even though people are saying that Hellblade isn't going to be there, I'm still crossing my fingers for Hellblade.
Ooh.
they
Um,
have to, right? It's been so long.
I don't know, man.
Uh,
Even just like a quick level, like a quick gameplay, like 3-4 minutes. You know?
Yeah,
Honestly, I just not. It'd be nice just to have like a bit more of a story context, like cinematic. I don't know, because the last one, it did it for me, but I don't know what happened. I wasn't very set on what was happening. I was confused a little bit.
and
It
like
looked
Yeah.
exciting.
and like even I know this is controversial, we on a PlayStation podcast, but I'm there's a part of me like, look, like Halo, I don't want to say it means a lot to me, but like I obviously have fond memories of Halo, the OG trilogy of Halo, and Reach as well. And yeah, there's definitely a part of me that like is hoping for the best for that game. Like I know 343 ain't it for a lot of people, but I am looking forward to seeing more of that game, and I hope it's sort of the return to form that I think a lot of fans have been looking for. So yeah, I'm
I mean, I hope so too. But the same situation is kind of like if Cesaro Games was making Sly
Sly.
4 and 5.
Yeah, true. It's and
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 you
here's
know,
and
and
here's
you were
the thi-
disappointed the entire time, and then Slide 6 coming out, you're like, I don't know.
No, I would not be excited for that because here's the
Yeah.
thing is that we've seen with 343, they've done Halo 4, they've done Halo 5, and those rank among like the bottom of the sort of ranking for people. So like if Sansaru did a Sly 4 and Sly 5 just by simple mathematics, I would not be looking forward to Sly 6 because they've shown me they have a track record that has disappointed me already. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I get it. Um, but yeah, what? So going back to Ubisoft, which they, I don't know. We probably shouldn't expect a Splinter Cell, but what are you guys sort of like looking or expecting to see in this show? Because honestly,
Well,
I'm not. We just got the leak of the Mario Rabbids game. So that's probably gonna be there, or maybe a deeper look into that. Far Cry, you'd assume is going to be there, but what else do you guys think will be there?
Uh, Good question. I mean, honestly, man, I'm hoping for like a new exciting IP. I don't know if that's even the thing. Maybe they're gonna touch upon, not that am expecting it to be there, but they could be touching upon some extra content for Immortals, Phoenix Rising, maybe.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that game, not. It's completely harmless. I have the game. I got it on sale. It's completely harmless. It's a fun game. It's a time killer. It does have that Ubisoft stench by all means. It all through and through. But hey, I have fun. Honestly, man, it'd be kind of exciting if they announced like if they're even doing one, if they're doing another AC, if it's like anything similar to Syndicate or something. I don't know if they're going back to that or if they're gonna continue with this model that's somehow more successful than their previous approaches to AC. Um, but honestly, I'm not expecting much. A Splinter Cell would be amazing. That would be an amazing announcement.
Jesus Christ,
Um,
did you guys just see that?
I'm looking at it. It's
Jesus Christ, dude, that's so cool.
oh,
no, I'm actually exploring Horizon Zero Dawn right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Um,
um
oh, and this
and
this little creature is attacking him too. Okay.
is this
My bad. Keep going. Keep
is
going.
it is this the thing they is this the fight they showcased with the where they like showed off the where you can like be transported in the battle?
Yeah, they showed this in the state of play. Jesus Christ, dude. And what's funny is that I haven't well I haven't played this yet. I actually made it further than what I played through last night on stream, which is really weird. Um, so yeah. Also, okay. So we'll probably see Riders Republic as well. We'll probably see that. Um,
Hmm.
do you guys do you guys think we'll see Skull and Bones?
I don't know. I think that's dead, man. Along with Beyond Good and Evil 2, I feel like
Oh
those
my
that
god,
those
dude! I
are
forgot
dead.
about that.
Yeah, I feel like those are
Whoa,
just dead right at this point. Like if they don't
Fever
show it, if
Dream.
they don't show it today, then like I don't know what they're doing, man. That part, those parts are just having a lot of work done because you know for a fact that Xbox is gonna, not for a fact, but you have a feeling, right, that Xbox is gonna come hard with Sea of Thieves as a sequel or then another expansion because that game's been doing very well for them as of late. So I feel like just having Skull and Bones show up is gonna be like for them it's going to be a competition, but like it's hard to kind of establish yourself when there's already big competition in the field. So I don't know, but I hope Ubisoft brings some good stuff to the show because I want to get excited for some of their games
Man,
like the next AC or something like that. But
Hmm.
I
it'll
don't
be
know.
a
I feel like if Assassin's Creed is anything like Valhalla, I'm just going to be a little turned off. I'm
man
less
that
interested.
it's gonna be a cold day in hell when when Ubisoft actually pulls up with something nice. Um,
I
but
mean, it already was with Valhalla because Helheim, you know. Am I right,
all right, man, all right.
guys?
But no, man, like I don't know, because I think they said that they're going back to the drawing board with Skull and Bones, and like, man, I feel like it's such a wasted opportunity that like that game isn't just like a full-fledged pirate RPG. Like how cool would that be,
Yep.
man? Like
Yep.
it's the fact that it's just strictly ship battles is such a wasted opportunity to me, man. Like take that because
Yep. Yep. I agree.
it's using the tech from Black Flag, right, with the ship combat and the water and whatnot. And I'm like, why not just make a full-fledged pirate RPG with that, man? You already have the foundation there. Like, I don't know, man. It's also just so weird that it's taken. I think it was like announced in like 2018, 2017. Like I could be off with that, but like man, like why is it taking so long for a game that's just a I think it's just a PvP game, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope they are, in that sense, they are going back to the drawing board and making it a pirate RPG. Because that's what I want. As soon as finished playing Black Flag, I was like, why don't we have more games like this?
Yeah.
Didn't they say they were changing their approach into going more like free to play, larger, more like detailed and
You
like
know what? That makes sense because they did talk
so,
about, going to service games.
yeah, so they could very much do a Skull and Bones this or that very franchise again, but in a free to play, you know, service model where you will obviously have microtransactions, but be a like actually like quality game. That's what a lot of companies are doing. You know, you get your PvP games like the new Battlefield. I think it's gonna be only PvP, right? I don't know if it's gonna have a story.
Ooh,
I don't know, man.
good good segue, man. We should talk about that. Unless Macho,
Oh
did
yeah,
you
the
have
next gen tax.
uh did you really quickly, do you have anything else to add to the Skull and Bones conversation?
Not just going bones. Excuse me. Mentioned that the leak from Nintendo about the Mario and Rabbids sequel that's
Yeah,
coming out in 2022. I talked about Walt for a little bit, but I never played it. It looks fun, but to on your Switch finally
definitely.
because your Switch's been dry all damn year.
Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, it's always on sale. If you could give it a shot, give it a shot, Macho. It's literally always on sale. It's like $15 almost always. It's a
Yeah, I'll
great
probably
game.
pick it up. Just leave it like in my backlog, and I'll get to it
Yeah,
eventually.
hell yeah, yeah for sure. But yeah, but Jay, let's touch on this beauty of a trailer that we got because I actually loved it. I
Uh,
loved what we got.
what's funny is that I didn't even watch the trailer.
Oh
Uh,
man,
Me neither. It's not gameplay. I don't care.
yeah, that's kind of my philosophy too.
it was a
Um,
movie. It was a whole movie.
but I'm interested to see what's sort of your familiarity with the Battlefield franchise. Cause Battlefield 3 and specifically 4 are like, I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, but those two games are like, those are games that I spent like hundreds of hours, and I love, like I don't like Call of Duty like at all. Like the last one I played, I guess I shouldn't say that because like the last one I played was Black Ops, and that came out in like 2010. But Battlefield, there's just something about those huge battles and how like every moment just feels, every match can feel different because of like the amount of players, how large the levels are, the destructibility. Yeah, there's just something about Battlefield that I really love, and I can really sink a lot of time into. So I'm just curious, like, what's your guys' history with the franchise? Um, do you guys like the campaign? Are you guys more multiplayer focused? What's going on with you guys?
Go for it, Macho.
For me, if you wanted to put me in a sleep spell, just give me a military shooter game or movie, and
Oh man.
yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm completely turned off from military shooters now. I played the living hell out of Black Ops with some friends, of course, and really, it's kind of just what I delved into. Really, I'm not really big multiplayer guy either, and um, if I'm gonna spend like hundreds of hours into a game, I'd rather be an RPG than a military shooter. Hi, ambulance going by. Um,
I mean,
and
preach
so
that. Preach that. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So like for me, with I played, I think it was Battlefield 3 that went up on PS Plus. I just tried it out just to like kind of expand my gaming taste, and I wanted to fall asleep. I was just so bored with the campaign. I didn't,
I don't
I
blame
didn't
you.
to the
I don't
point.
blame you.
Yeah, to the point I didn't even care to drop into the multiplayer. But I will say, when you're explaining like how the multiplayer experience is, so it reminded me of my time with Star Wars Battlefront 2, which most recently on PC. It was very fun, and it is like an experience of like seeing all these different players on the screen, and when things can happen any minute, like a Jedi popping out, or anything that's Star Wars related, like it had me hooked, and I really liked playing it. But there's nothing really to attach me to a multiplayer military shooter. Star Wars was Star Wars. I have a history with that. Military shooters, I can care less. So that's kind of like my take on it. So, but I'll tell you one thing: it was really funny to see how much people really love Battlefield, or it was mid with it, and you definitely saw it with that next gen tax.
Yeah, we'll get into that. What
Yes,
about you,
sir.
Walt?
My my history with Battlefield is interesting because I never properly like owned a Battlefield because I want it. It was my first Battlefield was I don't know what age I was. All I know is I saw it. I was like, "Oh, a game," and I just picked it up. It was what was it? Battlefield Bad Company 2, which I to this day I remember. I still love the time I played it. Um, when it comes to story and multiplayer, okay, Battlefield 3 and 4, I love them both for very different reasons. Battlefield 3, its campaign, I remember enjoying it. I don't know if playing it now I would enjoy it. I'm not going to do it because I might ruin the experience I have in my mind, so I'm going to leave it at that. Multiplayer, I have fond memories with friends that right now I have no idea where they are in life, so I have those fond memories on my mind. Battlefield 4, though, that's when multiplayer really, for me, when you talk, Macho talks about military shooters and how that on its own has been saturated to the point of no return. Um, I do think if you want a prime military shooter, I think Battlefield offers that. I don't think Call of Duty is its own arcadey style of shooting, but I will always die on the hill that Battlefield is by all means the greatest first person military shooter in any video game. Better than For Honor, not For Honor, Medal of Honor. Better than Call of Duty. I Battlefield for me is top of any military shooter. Four, the Levolution, whatever they called, or the maps. There's like chaos going on in the maps, and like the building falls off, and the dam is broken. I like that. I like the chaos in that. Mind you, not on my own. I play these games with friends, and I have a whole group of friends that they're pretty bananas. They already pre-ordered Battlefield 2042 without even seeing gameplay. So I know who I'm going to be playing this game with. For this new game, I'm excited even more because the last two Battlefields, although they were next gen looking and they played well, they were some of the most boring video games I've ever played in my life in terms of multiplayer. Stories, they were kind of okay. The war stories thing where you change perspective from person to person, that was kind of cool. But multiplayer, bro, I sleep. The multiplayer in those
I
games,
sleep.
I sleep. I prefer to grind three level classes to 60 and like with no sleep in Final Fantasy 14 than to ever play the Battlefield 1 or yeah, the Battlefield 1 I didn't play 5 because why? A Battlefield 1 multiplayer. No. No, don't give me that. I don't want to sleep now. I want to play games. Give me Ratchet and Clank. Give me Demon Souls. Don't give me fucking Battlefield. But yeah, that's my history with Battlefield. I'm excited because it's been like too long since we have had like an actual modern not futuristic take on the military shooter. Because God, Black Ops 3, get that out of the way. Get Infinite Warfare out of my way. Get Advanced War. What is this? What happened with shooters for some time? I was sick and tired of them. Um, so this for me is a breath of fresh air that I haven't had in a while in terms of military shooters. But yeah, that's what I have in my mind. What about you, Jay?
Um, yeah, I mean, I already kind of touched on it before.
But for this new iteration, the 2042, uh, what are you expecting? What do you want to see?
Um, I don't know. I'm just the same sort of like classic. Like, just give me some good maps to run around in and a large player count, and I'm good, man. I as long as you can kind of recapture that 3 and 4 feeling, then I'm totally down for it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm curious. Let's talk about the next gen tax, Macho.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that. So if you get the game on the, it's weird because technically, okay. So technically PS5 and Xbox Series of consoles is still considered next gen, and current gen is still considered PS4 and Xbox One. So by that, I'm gonna say the current gen versions of Battlefield 2042 are $60, while the next gen versions are $70. I don't know. Were you able to catch what was the upgrade path? The details about that, Macho?
I think there is no upgrade path.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Hold,
Um,
hold on. Let me actually look it up though, because I know there's like a whole like spreadsheet on this. What was it
okay,
called? 2049?
2042.
okay.
2042. Okay. Yeah,
Um,
let me look it up real quick and see if let me see.
so yeah, so while you're doing that, so basically, just the news of it being $70 on next gen systems definitely drew the ire of a lot of gamers. Um, $70 in general is a touchy subject, but then you take into account that 2042 is strictly multiplayer. There's no campaign this time around, so that obviously, that kind of added fuel to the fire. So I'm just curious.
I
So
found something.
what?
Battlefield 2042 will only have 64 players on last gen, as opposed to 128
Yeah,
on PC and next gen.
yeah.
So that's one thing. Holy crap! I did not know that. I hadn't read, like, I just saw the cinematic and I was like, oh, that looks awesome. I'm excited, but I'm not decided on whether I'm buying it day one or not. But this changes things. This touches on. I think it was last week we were talking about how if it's a next gen game and if it's priced at 70, there should be a justification for that. And I think this is one of them. This is exciting.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely nice to have that, but I sympathize with people who feel like they are getting a lesser product because there's no campaign. You're getting a lesser product and you're paying more money for it. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
sentiment that a lot of people are sort of feeling. Um,
I
and
agree.
then and then there's the people who are saying, which kind of made me a little mad. The people are saying that, well, Battlefield campaigns have never been good, and I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. I don't think they've. Yeah, like I agree that they haven't been good, but that's not the point. Like, regardless of the quality, you are literally getting less of a product, right? Even if that campaign is a 5 out of 10, the removal of that campaign is just you know logically, undisputably, you are getting something less in that product. If you
That's what they did
order
with Black Ops 4.
if you ordered, let's say, a cheeseburger and fries from McDonald's, and they forget to put the French fries in there, you are getting you are getting less than what you pay, and you actually end up paying the same price. You are getting less than what you paid for.
Someone's getting fired.
Okay,
So
just to jump in real quick on the whole like upgrade path. So there is an upgrade path, but the thing is, you have to get the gold and ultimate editions of the game, which is I guess like in the $100 or $110 range, I guess.
yeah, I
So
I ain't doing
it,
that.
it's kind of the same with NBA 2K, I think it was, where you paid more to get both versions.
Yeah, so they finesse you. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep.
The old 2K and EA finesse, man. Um, yeah, man. So, Macho, what do you think? There's this sort of people's complaints. Does the hold water with you?
With the whole with just the pricing itself.
Yeah, or just the whole thing in general.
Yeah, it sucks. Like I totally understand where people are coming from. Like when they wanted to complain about it. I don't know, cause my mindset on like on this price change has changed over time. Cause initially when you see the $10 hike, you're like, oh gosh, okay, more money for these games. Which means that one, I'm not going to be paying for as many games as I used to, and two, I just have to space out my purchases. Which like for me, it's fine. Like to be honest, I'm the kind of person where like if I really want a game day one, I don't care how much it is, I'm gonna buy it. Um, and I understand like people were saying, well, you're just a slave to the system and or to the whole capitalism plan. And to me, I'm just like, dude, I don't even know if I'm gonna live tomorrow. Why would why would I care about any of that? You know, like I'm gonna play what I want to play now, and I'm gonna pay the price if I have the money for it. But I can see people's again, they're being finessed. I think it's a matter of knowing that you're getting finessed, and one, if you're okay with it, and if you're not okay with it, then you know what to do. You know.
Yeah.
I know Square Enix finessed the hell out of me this week. I paid $70 for Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS5. I already had the PS4 version. I didn't have to pay for that. Why did I pay for it? Because I wanted that steelbook. They had me. They had me. I literally tweeted them out. Square Enix, if you bring this to USA, I'm going to pay $70 for this game. They saw my tweet. And they put it up as a GameStop pre-order to like really screw me over. So you know what? Because I don't like to buy stuff from GameStop. So you know what? They got me. I know.
What's his name? BG. He has this great point or this kind of saying that he's kind of started, that everyone has their one game, like this, despite people complaining about the $70 and whatnot, everyone has their one game that they are willing to spend $70 at a snap of a finger for, right?
Yes.
For me, Persona 6 came out and they were asking for $70. If they were asking for $100, I'd be like, okay, let's do it. If The Witcher did the same thing, I'd be like, okay, you tell me when, I'll be there. So like everyone has that one title that they are willing to do that for. So like I don't blame you for you know what I mean. I'm not. I totally understand where you're coming from, Macho, with that.
Yeah. It's like I can wait for sales on games, like that's fine. But if it's something I really want to play, I don't really care if it's $40. If it's a game I really like want it and that I know I'm going to enjoy playing, I'm not going to care if it's $60 and $70 now and $50, $40 in another 3 or 4 months. I really won't care. The games that I really like, I'll be like, yo, look, this game's $40. Go buy it right now. It's on sale. It's really good. That's the kind of person I am when it comes to these things now. I just don't care.
Like the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I got a message
man.
for you guys at the end of the show about that, too.
Man. So. Stay tuned for that, I guess. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I don't really know if I have anything much else to really add about this topic.
Well, you're kind of the same on that, really. Like, it's if it's a game like you really want, are you willing to pay top dollar for it?
Done it like 3 times already with different games. You mentioned Square Enix. I did it with Life is Strange because I bought Life is Strange when it first came out digitally, and then they announced a physical limited edition. I bought that, and then they announced it on. I got a PC for the first time, and I bought it on PC. I bought it like 3 times. Same with Stardew Valley. I got Stardew Valley digitally on 3 different platforms, and I also am gonna get the physical edition that they announced like a few years ago. I'm gonna get that with the vinyl. Like, there's just games that I don't only buy the game. I'll go full out on the most expensive version you have if I adore that game. Like I'm gonna do, like Jay mentioned, Persona 6 announced next week. Boy, I'm quick on the pre-order. I'm gonna be quick on anything on anything Persona, on anything Final Fantasy the 16, Final Fantasy 6. Oh man,
yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Quick on those fingers.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm gonna be on that Square Enix web store real quick, just like it was with 14.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like also like what's it called, like special editions or collector's editions too. Like I feel like I've been paying extra for games like already, right? Like I bought the collector's edition for The Last of Us, a special edition for Uncharted 4, Horizon I got the collector's edition, God of War I got the collector's edition, both Persona 5 and Royal I got the Steelbook editions, right? So like I feel like I have been paying like extra for these games, like above $70 for a while. But
yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a good point too.
Yeah, man.
That's good. Like I guess, like I was saying before, like if it's something I really want, I'm gonna pay for it. And again, it was an example this past week with remake, and then Square Enix charged me $40 for shipping. But you know, it is what it is.
You know.
And Sammy
I'm
says
still a little
that
sad about. I'm a little sad about it.
Sammy says that Matcha lives on the Square Enix store, and yeah, that's absolutely right.
Uh huh.
Absolutely right.
I'm still waiting for them. I'm still waiting for them to refresh the rewards page, man. I need to spend those points.
Oh man.
I want my hoodie, goddamn.
Oh, you getting your Square Enix pajamas too, man? Is that what it is?
Yes, sir. You know it. An
You-
S on one chest and E on the other. You know how
Oh,
it goes.
man, you know the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
bro.
man. All right, man. I'm just picturing you on your sitting on your couch with your Square Enix pajamas or your little Kingdom Hearts little like coffee mug in your hand.
Yeah, you know how it is. That's the vibes, man. That's the vibes. With my what was it? With my what's the new thing that just came out? The Final Fantasy VII remake. Oh God, what is it? It's Music Box. There you go.
You picking that up?
There's a little music box on the side. I got my coasters too, my Bravely Default coasters.
Oh
I'm
man.
a nerd. I love it. I love it.
All right, so before we get out of here, I wanted to briefly touch on the Netflix Geeked Week thing that happened.
Yeah, I'm glad we are.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff came out of that, and yeah, I wanted to kind of go down the line. Like, what was sort of like the big, you know, piece of information that came out of that, from that little event for you guys?
Before
I'm
much.
I'm I'm so happy about Castlevania getting a spinoff.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that,
sir.
man.
I am so happy about that. I'm on season 4 right now of
Ooh.
Bro,
Castlevania. It's
that
good.
I
Oh
felt
my
bad for
gosh.
anyone who was watching that live stream because they were showing us straight up like spoilers for season 4. The footage that they were
Oh, were
showing.
they? I didn't
Yeah.
really see. I just saw the announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, there was just one reaction watching, and one of the guys was like he was on season 3, and, like they were basically showing the everything that happened in season 4, man. I was like, what the hell are you
Oh,
guys
that's
doing
crazy.
here? Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
Yikes.
crazy. I didn't thankfully I didn't see it then. I just saw the announcement. I got one spoiler, and that was like what the the show is based off of, like
Yeah,
where like which is like for me that's okay.
yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. It was a spoiler, more of like oh duh kind of moment. Um, but yeah, no, I'm super excited for that just because I've been getting to the Castlevania games too, and those are just like I can see why so many people love that series from the games alone. So having like this really great series take off and have like an amazing direction, and that it's going to get its sequel in a sense with a spin-off series with the character that I'm more or less familiar with from the games. I'm really excited for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that
And shout outs to Lenore, man. Shout outs to Lenore.
yeah, man.
Oh
Hey,
man,
man.
bro.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
yeah.
Hey, man. Let's chill.
Hey, man.
Let's hold our horses for a
That
second there, man.
that season 3 episode 9 was wild, son. I don't know about you. I thought I was watching Game of Thrones for a second, yeah. And that joke was wild.
Oh man.
I was getting in there, and then my fiance right next to me. She was like, "Yeah, I approve."
Hey,
He was
man.
in there. It was good times. That was a good episode.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Doing
Shout out
the
to Hector, my boy.
doing the Lord's work right there, man. Oh,
Being the servant that he is, my man.
yes, sir. So Walt, did you have anything from the show that
Man,
you were?
I mean, whatever other excitement I had, I can't talk about. 'Cause I don't want Mancha to get spoiled. But like, yeah, Castlevania. Who was it with? Spin up with Richter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
There was also
I need to play it.
there was also the Resident Evil news. We know Lance Reddick
Yeah,
is going to be playing Wesker.
bro. Not gonna lie. I saw like the side by side Albert and him. Like he has the face for that like arrogant like evil dude. I'm excited to see him as Albert.
Yeah, that was a great casting choice.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited for that. I won't touch the other thing I'm excited for because that's Jay's territory, and I'm not gonna lie, it's the same energy with Lady D, but Lenore's all fine, but Striga, like Striga is like I don't know, man. Striga.
Oh man.
I was not expecting that from my boy Wall. Like, yo, Striga?
Striga, man, the height. That's some height, man. I gotta look up. No, not.
Oh man.
That and I enjoyed the Lucifer pilot table read. That was fun. That was a nice little thing they did. But yeah, let me take it away. So what other thing did they talk about?
Oh, it was obvious, man. They had a little teaser for The Witcher season 2, which was just like, I hate, like, why are companies doing this, man? It feels like it's becoming a trend where like they're like, oh, we have show up to this day we'll have a big announcement, and then it comes to that day and they're like, okay, show up to 2 weeks from now, so the real announcement happens. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird that a lot of these companies are doing that, right? Like, wasn't that the same thing with the Battlefield thing, that they had like a countdown to the countdown and then the announcement or something along those lines? Yeah, I don't know. It was so weird that The Witcher kind of did that too, where they were like, okay, here's a teaser trailer. The real trailer is happening in July, so you guys gotta wait a little bit more for that. So that was definitely frustrating. Like that teaser trailer, man, like even me having read all the books was like I barely got anything from that, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, same. Yeah. I cannot discern what they're doing.
Yeah. So I just killed Clank, man. God. I just killed my boy. Yeah, so we also got the news that there's going to be a WitcherCon. CD Projekt Red with The Witcher Netflix. I don't know. I didn't read like the press release or whatever what exactly is gonna be in this, but
I think they said don't expect a game.
Right. Yeah, I did see that, which I wasn't expecting. But like, so does that also mean that we shouldn't expect the next gen version of The Witcher 3? Like, should we not be expecting that?
They gotta fix Cyberpunk before they worry about anything.
Hey man, hey, that's crazy.
I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that next gen Cyberpunk. But then people are like, "No, that is next gen." No, man, don't cap. This ain't next gen. This ain't even current gen. This is PS1. Shut the hell up. What you mean? No.
I mean, I hope with that WitcherCon that means that more graphic novels. Maybe I think there will be an update on the Witcher, like next gen update though. I think there will be.
For sure. Like when they say no game, don't expect like a new game. Like no Witcher 4 or whatever.
Yeah, which I'm not.
Or actually, they
surprised.
could do like a Gwent 2 or like what was the other one that came out that was like in the middle between like the third and second book.
A Thornbreaker.
Yeah, I think that there might be like a Stormbreaker 2 if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not sure how well that game did, but I mean, Gwent's always a fun game, enough. So.
Yeah, I think, and they also have, they still have the Gwent game running, and they still have the like tournaments going on and whatever.
Oh, there you go. Then yeah, might as well announce like a sequel to that and make it for everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that. Obviously, like I need that second trailer, and I'm really excited because if you guys saw the trailer, like obviously there's a huge focus on Ciri, which makes sense because the material that they're covering for the second season is essentially the Ciri training arc. So it definitely makes sense that it's that this trailer was heavily focused on the series. So I'm excited to see that first trailer, man, for sure. And whatever news that they're planning to do, because honestly, besides the next gen version and obviously season 2 stuff, my concern is that like what do they have that constitutes them having an entire Witcher con, right? Because like if you're telling me you're having a con, you that you should have like a lot to announce there, right? Like Macho,
Yeah.
if they're having like a Final Fantasy con, you would expect that there's gonna be like a ton of news to happen there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the fan fest of Final Fantasy 14. If they're doing a fan fest, they're gonna announce a lot of stuff and just have a lot of stuff there for fans to interact with and get excited about, which they did. So when they did say a con, I was like, y'all got a lot in the pipeline. If you don't, you're gonna waste a lot of people's time.
Yeah, for sure. So like I'm curious to see what they have that constitutes having a con. Why they felt the need that they needed to have a con in the first place. Because you can't just show up there with, like a season 2 trailer and then people talking about season 2 and then call it a day, right? Like I don't know, I feel like you got to have a little bit more. There's also there I don't know the exact details, but they are doing like another Witcher like animated show, I think.
Oh yeah, they're doing two. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. They're
So
doing
okay,
two
so
of them.
maybe we get some news on that. Um. So
That's
yeah,
true, actually. Yeah, I forgot about those two. Yeah, I'm hoping for a another novel or maybe from Dark Horse.
man, that
I'm a fan of like those reading materials, so I'd see more of those too.
yeah that would be cool. Um. Obviously, I would love another novel. Um. But yeah, I guess that pretty much. We also got a Splinter Cell animated series. Which man, Ubisoft man. I don't.
My boy Mo was feeling it that day. He loves Splinter Cell. He's been waiting for like another revival. So when I saw that anime was announced, I immediately went to the timeline and he had that disappointed kid meme.
Oh
Just like
yeah,
really.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. They have no interest in Splinter Cell, man. They keep. I feel like they keep like dragging poor old Sam Fisher through the mud, man. He don't deserve this. He really don't.
I don't know. I never
Um,
played a Splinter Cell game, but I feel for those people that are like really disappointed by this.
yeah, man. I feel for them. Um, Lastly, before we end the show, I wanted to touch on. Did you guys take a look at that latest Jim Ryan interview?
With who was it? I know what you're talking about. I think it was Axios.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. I did see that.
So I don't want to get into like his comments about like the scalpers and the other stuff that he talked about, but he did talk about old games, and I'm not gonna talk about the quote. I'm not gonna talk about the quote, but he did talk about with regards to Demon Souls and Ratchet and Clank, this idea of he likes what they've been able to do with those titles specifically because it's able to refresh their kind of classic IPs. So I'm not trying to say that this is obviously going to lead to to one
Now you
thing
think
or
what I'm thinking?
yeah, I'm not going to say that, but I do like the idea that like obviously it seems like this has been successful for them and they like doing this. So like I don't know like where your guys' mind is at with this. Like, do you guys think that we could possibly see like what else can we see in the form of like a rejuvenated like franchise in the veins of Demon Souls getting a facelift, Ratchet and Clank getting a revitalization? Um, do you guys think we can see more classic franchises getting this treatment?
It's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know how
yeah.
probable it is. Uh, it's certainly in the realm of possibility. We've mentioned in this podcast many times the many franchises that we think are dead, but hope they make a resurgence somehow. Just how or not even a whole franchise, maybe old past games from already like well established companies. But honestly, I don't know. I don't have much like in the realm of PlayStation. I don't have like much in mind in terms of the old franchises. Macho, do you have like more like nostalgic or more old school games that you would like to see rejuvenated like now? Or
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the big three are like Ratchet, Jack, and Sly, and Ratchet
Okay.
being the most, the one that's endured the most, for like all of PlayStation's life. But I feel like if it could be really cool to kind of see us dive back into these classic franchises and see them, give them the Ratchet and Clank treatment. I feel like there's still some room there for like some uh, buddy platform action platforming games. They were big on PS2, so and you're saying before, so like we don't get a lot of those. So why not actually have some dedication to that realm since we don't really get a lot of those a lot. Um, yeah, I'm holding out hope for another Sly Cooper. Like that to me, that's like on the hype levels of like getting the next Kingdom Hearts game. Where like if I see like the logo or anything like that, I'll just go nuts because I would love another Sly Cooper game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really do hope that this is him kind of like I, I don't know, just kind of saying that like yeah, like we this is kind of a route that we can definitely take with our older franchises. Um, I really hope so, man, because yeah, there's a lot of especially like you just pointed out, Macho, those PS2 platformers that I think a lot of people would love. Like, did you guys see when the lead up to Ratchet's release, the
Yep, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah,
yes, that
Hmm.
I forget. I think it's the Rhino 8. I think that gun. So in Rift Apart, the Rhino this time, which that weapon has been a staple throughout the entire franchise, and it's kind of taken on like different iterations every single game. But in Rift Apart, it works as like a portal gun that brings in different things from like different PlayStation Studios titles. And so like they were playing around with that idea with the marketing, and they showed like Sly Cooper jumping through a portal, and like everyone was losing their goddamn mind, dude, including me.
yeah,
I was
same
like,
here.
hold up, man.
They
Um,
got Sly Cooper trending.
yeah, man. So like, I don't know, man. It, it just like seeing Ratchet back, man. It just feels good, and I sincerely hope the game does well, which I think it is, to a point where Sony kind of looks at it and is like, okay, we could definitely do something more with this.
Well, I'm hoping based on how like here's like my fantasy when it comes to the bringing back Sly Cooper. If Kina does really well and PlayStation continues that partnership with that studio, then I think putting them on the next Sly Cooper could be something cool to see
Yeah,
if they want to do that, or if they want to give it back to Sucker Punch and have Sucker Punch consult on the game while Ember Labs, I think this the studio is,
yeah.
they work on the next Sly Cooper game.
See, like I would even someone like the Platonic, the ukulele guys, and I know I was slandering them earlier, but like let them take a crack at it, see what they can do. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
or even for Jack and Daxter, because I
yeah,
know a lot of people really like Jack and Daxter. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do think it's fun. But I would take Sly and Ratchet over that.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping this, they can kind of bring that back because I feel like Sly Cooper's a really good mascot. So I still gotta get that Funko Pop. Damn it, gotta get that.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like the Funko Pop came in, and then like 2 days later, that Sly jumping through the portal. I'm not trying. I'm not connecting the dots or anything like that. All right, I'm not
Something
Yeah,
trying
is
you
to.
are.
coming.
Yeah, you are.
Nah,
Stop it.
I'm
You just
not.
did right there. I
I'm not.
caught you.
I'm not trying to say anything. All right.
Hey, take off that
I'll,
tinfoil hat, Jay. Take off
You
that
just
tinfoil
you
did.
know
You're
what?
hat.
like,
All
yo,
right.
Funko Pop?
You know
Wait,
what?
Insomniac?
You know what? All right. All right. We doing it. We doing it. All right.
Half Life 3.
We doing it. The signs are there, people. Open your eyes, man. It's right there in
Bro,
front of you.
I'll tell you, man. If they bring those Sly games to PS Now or something, you, you tinfoil hat is on.
But let me tell you, I'm gonna say it right now. Before the year ends, Sly is gonna be playable on PS5. One way or another, we're gonna be able to play Sly on PS5.
I mean,
Let's
I was
let's
just
hope.
playing. I was
Let's
just
hope.
playing Sly 2 on my PS5.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
So,
it's gonna be rebranded. No, I'm not talking. I ain't talking. Old. No, no. There's gonna be a remaster, a remake. There's gonna be a collection. There's gonna be the Sly collection. It's gonna happen. Look,
I'll
just
buy it.
watch.
I'll
Yeah, I
buy
mean,
it.
even just a remaster. Like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Just a remaster. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
Yeah,
asking for.
same.
A crumb. That's it. That's all I need, man.
Come on, come on.
Um,
Man,
Give it
oh
to me.
man, so willing to pay for just sides when he's actually when it costs like meals.
yeah, man.
See,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
you ain't waiting. You in this group.
We
You
all
picked up
gotta.
Ratchet day one.
Hey, man. We all got our price, man. We all got our price that
Exactly.
we willing to whore out ourselves for, man.
That's
We all
right.
got
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Um, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming through the podcast and chilling with us for a bit. We greatly appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel and liking. We will greatly appreciate that. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get started with these outros. Macho, what's going on with you this week? You got anything planned? Besides
Yeah,
E3?
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, besides E3, we're gonna try and tackle some Lords of Gaming coverage interviews. I mean, we'll see my headspace is because right now, like my brain's just dead this weekend, man. But other than that, it's mostly just to hang out with the family. It's my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad. We're gonna take him out to get something to eat, and then I'm gonna enjoy some Final Fantasy VII Remake, Integrate, and Ratchet and Clank, dude. I'm so pumped to jump into both games and just get lost in them. Like, this is embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Um,
Uh-oh.
I was walking around in Integrate as I was as Yuffie, and walking around like the slums Midgar
Oh
area, and
man.
dude, the music when it swells, and I just pan the camera up, and you see the metal sky. A tear was brought to my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm in gaming bliss right now. Like this, like I immediately just got transported back to the early 2000s on my PSP playing Final Fantasy VII and just getting so enveloped in that world. And ah man, I'm so excited to get back into that and to finally get back into Ratchet and Clank, or finally get into Ratchet and Clank. That's just gonna hit on all nostalgia vibes and just, as you put it, soul, just pure fun factor. Um, it's gonna be a good weekend. It's gonna be a good weekend. I might have to take like a Tylenol for this headache I have, but it's gonna be a good weekend. Um, and of course, as always, if you haven't heard, the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn with the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 for free, with no restrictions on playtime, is available on PS4, PS5, and PC. Do yourself a favor. Play that joint. Walt, where you at, homie? I don't see you online. What's going on?
Hey, man.
No,
That's
I know
actually.
you're moving. I know you're moving.
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
busting your
Come on.
balls. I'm busting your
Come
balls.
on. Don't bust my balls been busted for a week, man. I
Hey,
can't
yo.
play.
Chill. Hey, yo, word. Damn. Um.
Listen,
Oh
man.
man.
All right, man. So what? What's going on with you, man?
Well, man, my busted balls and
Oh
all.
man.
I'm waiting for my shit to get here.
Pause.
I ain't got no TV. I ain't got nothing. I can't play games. So this weekend, man, I'm gonna be on that E3 because there ain't nothing else to do. Just more leasings and shit.
You got a Switch, right? You got your Switch at least?
Yeah, I got my Switch. I got my Switch.
Oh man, pick up I think it might be on sale. Pick up Guacamelee 1 and 2. Your weekend will fly by with those.
Oh, okay. I got Guacamole 1, so I'm gonna do 2 then. Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta do 2. Gotta do 2. It's fantastic.
Hell yeah. All right, then. I mean, y'all heard it here. I'm going to be checking that guacamole because, honestly, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, do it, man. It's really good.
Gonna be, although gonna be on that E3, making sure, jotting down everything announced and whatnot. And once I get everything here installed and all my piece set up and all that stuff, be on the lookout at Low One Gaming at Walt Lando on Twitter. Twitter down below. Just be on the lookout. Other than that, I need to play Ratchet and Clank. So once everything's set up and I'm on that grind, it's Ratchet and Clank week. It's nothing but, and someone convinced me earlier to get Integrate, so I'll be getting Integrate this week.
Yes, sir.
And probably play more FF14 because, as y'all know, there's a free trial. You can try it right now.
It's work. It's
Yeah,
working.
where do we hear that from?
Yeah, man.
Brings a tear to my eye. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How about you, Jay? What you got planned, Jay?
Just more Ratchet, man. Just more Ratchet. Gonna
Mass
Yeah, man.
Effect? Going back to the platinum?
I've been bouncing between both of them, so yeah, gonna continue to do the same thing. Um and yeah, hopefully some E3 coverage, try to chip in where I can, man. But like I said, man, I work unfortunately, so we gonna try to do what we can, man. Um
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
but
I had to ask one question about your Mass Effect Insanity playthrough, though. Are you still sticking with Adept?
No,
Is that
okay,
it?
so I changed, and I regret this, man. I changed to Sentinel, I think. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's like
so.
a mix of biotics and mechanics, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah. So I don't like it because it's not the Vanguard and like the Adept from Mass Effect 1, like I think I just overall prefer more biotic central abilities, and with this one it's like I feel like, yeah, it's a mix between the two, but it's not my favorite biotic abilities that it's pulling from. Like it has, the
Mm.
classic warp and throw, and then that's about it. Like it doesn't have the shockwave, which I really really liked. Um, but there is one good ability called Tech Armor, which is abs and that this is primarily the reason why I chose this class for the Insanity playthrough. Is because Tech Armor, it basically just adds like another, shield, like health bar to you, which is absolutely crucial because like you take a couple shots and your health is like depleted like all the way down. So like this is
Oh, wow.
essentially adding like a third health bar. So like I've been using that basically like exclusively to try to help me get through. So that's primarily the reason why I chose this class, but it's not that fun. Is what I'm trying to say. Like it's missing a lot of like
Oh,
the
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not that fun.
So you're probably going to change on for Mass Effect 3 then?
Oh, definitely, yeah, for sure.
And that's for Vanguard, you're saying?
No, no, no. Vanguard is what I chose on my first playthrough, and I had a lot of fun with that one. That's actually the class I had for all three games on my first playthrough. Cause and then also the weapons, right? Cause dependent on your class, you can only use specific weapons, and the
Right.
Sentinel weapons suck, man. Cause you can only use a heavy pistol,
Oh,
which is good.
jeez.
I actually like the heavy pistols, but then the submachine guns, at least what I'm starting out with, it does like a pitiful amount of damage, dude. Like it sucks so much. Maybe that'll
Okay.
change once I start finding like different submachine guns, but it sucks so bad. And then the heavy pistol like I like the heavy pistol, but it only has 24 bullets. So like, and I'm trying to primarily use that because it does the most damage, but then I run out of it so fast. So like I don't know, it's really tough. Um,
Okay,
but
and I'll probably avoid the Sentinel class then, because I don't really like submachine guns.
Yeah, me neither. Like I really wish I had an assault rifle, man. I really and a shotgun because that's what the Vanguard had, and it was really fun having that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, we chipping away, man. We trying. But yeah, man. So aside from that, it's basically been it's going to be more Ratchet, more Mass Effect, and just E3. Can I actually jump on this? Oh my god. Oh, okay, yeah, we can. Yeah, let's go. Okay. All right, man. So, once again, I want to thank everyone who stopped by. We really appreciate it, man. We see you guys in the chat. We like for real, like genuinely, we really appreciate you guys coming through. Um,
Yeah, thanks for popping in, man.
yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Especially in my mood. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, when we see you, man. So yeah, man. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.